Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are the Fourth.
After back-to-back disappointing losses to the last-place Kansas City Royals, Joe Madden and the Rays must refocus if they wish to keep their hopes of winning the AL East alive. Tonight, left-hander David Price will prep for the postseason with an appearance out of the bullpen and a chance at 20. The chase for the AL East continues on Sun Sports. Tonight we greet you from Kansas City, Missouri, Kauffman Stadium. This will be Game 3 of the 4-game series on tap between the Rays and the Kansas City Royals. At the start of the day, the Rays trailing the New York Yankees by a half game in the American League's Eastern Division. The Yankees playing 2 today. The Rays this single matchup tonight against Kansas City. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Kevin Kennedy and Todd Callis. I'm Dwayne Statz. Great to have you with us tonight. We'll be hearing from Todd in just a few moments. Well, the weatherman says the temperature could drop into the 40s here in Kansas City, so it will be a brisk night. Kevin, the Rays have been stone cold offensively. Joe Madden's looking for them to heat up the bats.
Yeah, it's been really surprising because you're playing against really second division ball clubs here the past 9 or 10 games. And, you know, the Rays offense overall, they've lost 3 in a row. They've lost 5 of 6. They've only scored 9 runs. They're hitting 161. The on-base percentage is microscopic. It's been unreal. I mean, it really hasn't happened before. The Rays have never been shut out 3 times in a week in their history. So with that, with a couple of games to go, with a tune-up for the postseason, tonight is even more dramatic and more with a sense of urgency. They have to come out and swing the bats than last night. Home field advantage is important, but I think you got to get the guys feeling good about themselves and get a win tonight. And with David Price scheduled to open the postseason, wherever that may be, Andy Sonnenstein will make the start for the Rays tonight, with David Price scheduled to get some work that might put him in a position to actually nab his 20th win of the season. Yeah, overall, David, he got the last win, the clincher for postseason last week against the Orioles. He was lights out with his stuff, pretty much like he's been all season long. 19-6 record. The ERA stands third in the American League. The fastball, of course, the other night was just like it has been. And this will be a little tune-up if he gets a couple of innings today. There won't be much more than that, probably 30 to 45 pitches. A good tune-up getting ready for next Wednesday. So the Rays and the Royals square off here tonight. David Price is scheduled to make an appearance following the start by Andy Sonnenstein. Rays looking for more offense. When we come back, we'll hear from Todd Callis.
Royals, game number 161 on the schedule. Rays will wrap things up tomorrow against Kansas City.
and then they'll fly to either Minnesota to get ready for the Twins or fly back to Tampa St. Petersburg to get ready for the Texas Rangers. It all depends on what happens in the next 24 hours. The Rays started the day trailing the New York Yankees by a half game in the AL East. Here's some scores of games that impact the Rays. Minnesota still has an outside shot for the best overall record in the American League, but they cannot have the Yankees or the Rays win any more games the rest of the weekend. Doubleheader between the Yankees and Boston is now in the bottom of the seventh. The Red Sox have the tying run on second base and 2 outs. Yankees lead that game 5-4. The game later on tonight will feature A.J. Burnett against Daisuke Matsuzaka. For the Rays and Evan Longoria in our Geico quote of the game, they know the importance of trying to win the American League East.
Very important. I mean, I think the one thing that's looming in all of our minds is if we don't, we're going to have to go straight to Minnesota, which is makes it a little bit tough. You go on the road 4 days to end the year, and then you go right into the playoffs on the road, which would be a little bit of a difficult thing. We've played well in Minnesota, so that's I don't think that's on any of our minds, but to win the East is an accomplishment in itself, and to be able to go home and start the playoffs at home would be a huge advantage for us.
So we'll see how it plays out over the next 24 hours. We are 3.5 minutes away from the first pitch on a Saturday night from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City.
Is brought to you by M. Scott, the Money Superstore. Round and round we go. Third game of this 4-game series. It will be cool tonight in Kansas City as the Rays send Andy Sonnenstein to the hill against Kyle Davies. Kansas City winners of the first 2 games, and Joe Madden will line them up this way for the Rays tonight. John Jaso will catch and lead off, followed by B.J. Upton. Carl Crawford again in the third spot in left field, and playing third base, Dan Johnson in the cleanup spot. Matt Joyce is in right, Carlos Pena at first, Brad Hopp the DH, Sean Rodriguez at second with Jason Bartlett at shortstop batting ninth. Evan Longoria not in the lineup again tonight.
Well, the Rays will face Kyle Davies this evening. 31 starts with 1 complete game. Overall, his record is 8-11. He's got a 5.31 earned run average. He's coming off of 3 rough outings where he's 0-2 with an 8.82 in the last 3 starts. 16 in the third innings, giving up 23 hits and 16 earned runs.
Well, John Jaso leads it off for the Rays in the first pitch of this game. And there is a strike call. Jaso starts the night at .266 with his on-base percentage still a very good .376. And strike two. Two quick strikes from Davies. Temperature 60 degrees as we start play tonight. Jaso takes it down. And a one hopper to second. Avili's right there to make the throw. One away.
Take a look at the rest of the Royals defensively tonight. Mitch Meyer plays left field this evening. Gerard Dyson in center field. Gregor Blanco in right. Josh Fields at third base. Yunetsky Betancourt at second. Mike Aviles plays second. Keila Kahui is at first base tonight. We're going to see him defensively. And Brian Pena is behind the plate. This alignment is brought to you by Sweet Bay. Live fresh for less.
Here's B.J. Upton. So they're starting at .239 on the year. And the pitch is away. B.J. with 18 home runs, 38 doubles. That slugging percentage up pushing .430 now. A cut and a miss. As he starts play tonight, he leads the team in strikeouts with 160. He's moved ahead of Carlos Pena in that department. 1-2.
Pretty healthy fastball from Davies, 95. He also just saw a cutter at 90 just a pitch ago.
This one fouled off the facing of the dugout. Still 1-2. And in the limited times, the Rays have seen him before. He's shown a breaking ball, pretty good curveball with some depth on it.
Yeah, he threw one to Jaso. He threw a 78-mile-an-hour overhand curveball. He saw a two-seam fastball. He's got 5 pitches.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's kind of been the book on B.J. Upton. If you've got a good cutter or a good slider, throw it off the outside corner. Try to get him to chase.
Ground ball headed toward third. A diving stop. Fields throw is not going to be in time. And B.J. is aboard. Great stop by Fields, but he couldn't get a lot on the throw. And with Upton's speed, he has a base hit.
I believe that was a cutter as well. B.J. did pull it, but enough speed with the throw from Josh Fields from his knees with not a much on it. And B.J.'s able to beat this one out. Nice stop, though. You're absolutely right. Playing deep. Good range going to his left. Not quick enough, not enough strength there to get B.J. Well, you know,
back in.
Dwayne, that's the point you're making. 160 strikeouts. If he could do that with his speed, I mean, that was a swing that he pulled the ball. But if he could just put it in play more, whether it goes to right field or not, I mean, he's going to hit 280.
Pitch is high to Crawford, 1-0. Well, you know, they say that the difference between hitting 250 and 300 is essentially 1 hit a week.
That's right.
Well, if you can put the ball in play a little bit more, there's absolutely no reason that instead of hitting around 240 where he is, he could be at 280 or 290.
That's exactly right. He's going to steal 50 bases this year. Right now he's got 42, but I mean he's capable of stealing 50 every year. He's only been caught 9 times. It's a nice combination when he and Carl Crawford are on together, hitting behind each other like this.
Carl ahead in the count, 2-0, and of course Crawford has been outstanding in the number 3 spot. He's been good wherever he's been, but hitting third, he's at 330, and that's starting to push about a 2-month period now. He's hit third.
He's got 18 home runs, 89 RBIs, hitting 306. He hit one out foul last night, his last at bat on the Bruce Chen.
There's a liner into right field for a base hit. Upton's on his way to third. Blanco's throws cut off, and it's first and third with one out. Hit number 182 for Crawford.
And that's the other thing with getting BJ on in front of Carl. I mean, he never hesitated going to third base.
Well, you look at the two guys together, Crawford and Upton, and with a few more base hits out of BJ, they could be even more dynamic than they are right there. The first teammates in the history of Major League Baseball with that extra base hit total and more than 40 stolen bases.
Yeah, 46 for Carl, 42 for BJ. Both guys have 18 home runs.
Dan Johnson.
BJ's got 38 doubles also.
Johnson hitting an even 200. Coming off the great year at Durham.
Keep it off the ground right here.
The pitch is up. A ball, no strikes. The Rays saw Davies down at Tropicana Field on the 1st of May. And he gave the Rays just 2 runs on 3 hits in 6 innings. Struck out 6 and did walk 5 in that outing. One ball, 1 strike.
95 fastball. Had a little bit of tail to that pitch.
It's the line from the no decision he had in St. Petersburg at Tropicana Field. Left with the game tied 2-2. Now it's a 2-1 count. TJ Upton at third and Carl Crawford at first.
Count for Carl to go right here. It's not going to be a hit and run. Not with Dan Johnson. You're not going to take the bat out of his hands, but good time to go for Carl if he's going to run.
And a cut and a miss. Johnson out front.
Off speed right there. Definitely want to stay out of a double play. Good sinker. Good depth on that pitch. Another good time to run right here. 2-2. Great running count.
And time call granted by the plate umpire Laz Diaz. So that's a no pitch.
And right now, the way Carl's getting off first base, it looks like he has no intention of running. But I think you gotta be aggressive here.
There goes Crawford. The pitch is high. The throw is not in time, and Carl is in with his 47th stolen base.
Well, after that no pitch, Carl lulled everybody to sleep. Looked like he wasn't going, and he did go, indeed, on the right count. Good time to go. 2-2 is a great count to run on. No chance. Huge jump. That'll eliminate the double play on the ground.
Put 2 men in scoring position. Full count pitch. Strike 3 called. Pitch on the inside edge, says Laz Diaz. Johnson thought he had drawn the walk. He's caught looking.
Well, that's the problem with guys that really work the count. They want to get that perfect pitch. You could see on Fox Tracks it had plenty of the inside corner. It's that Pena was sitting up away, and you feel that as a hitter, but he missed location so badly it was effective. But it had plenty of the plate. It's too close to take anyway. You got 2 men on. Your job as a 4-hitter is to swing the bat. You have to expand the zone, so be it.
Matt Joyce. He shoots one into right center field. Pretty well tagged. Blanco on the run, and it's going to be over his head. One hopping the wall. 2 runs have scored. Joyce is going to head for third, and he's in there head first without a play. Matt Joyce triples home 2, and the Rays take an early lead 2-0.
Well, that's what we're talking about right there. Swing the bat, be aggressive, see it, and hit it. You don't have to have the perfect pitch to get the job done. As a matter of fact, that ball was running off the outside corner, and Matt went out and got it. That's just good aggressive hitting right there. You don't have to wait till the 6th pitch in the at bat to get the job done. If it's good enough and you can get to it, jump on it. It's a great job by Matt Joyce.
Matt's 3rd triple of the year. give them 40 runs batted in. And here's Carlos Pena. Pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
You know, and I think Carlos has to do the same thing. Just see it and hit it. Don't think too much. Go back to basics.
One and one.
It's all right. You know what? It looked like a fastball too, and that's fine. You'd rather see Carlos do that than take a third strike. Or take strike one, strike two. I think that's part of the problem, Dwayne, why the Rays do strike out so much. Some of them are looking for that perfect pitch. They're hitting 0-2 all the time.
Well, there's a fine line between working the count and taking too many pitches. And so often they've erred, I think, on the side of finding themselves down in the count and having defensive at-bats as a result of that.
You know, the one guy in this lineup that doesn't do that is Carl Crawford. Now, he's hitting 300. Yeah, he'll chase once in a while, but he's always thinking hit first, swing the bat first, take second.
Pena takes a close pitch away, a fastball in the mid-90s.
All right, that's a good take. Tough pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Kansas City elects not to have the shift on. They're just playing pretty much straight up defensively.
And a swing and a miss on another mid-90s fastball. Rays are finished in the first, but they get on the board. 2 runs. Upton and Crawford scoring on the triple by Joyce, and the Rays have a pair. Bottom of the first coming. HD by H.H. Gregg. Fun at the old ballpark. Let's take a look at the Kansas City lineup. Ricker Blanco is going to lead off again, followed by Mike Aviles. Billy Butler is the DH, hitting third, and the cleanup hitter is Keila Kuakua. Josh Fields is in third. Mitch Myers in left. Yuniesky Betancourt hits seventh, the shortstop. Ryan Pena catches, and Gerard Dyson in center field hits ninth.
And Andy Sonnenstein gets the spot started. Only be his 4th start of the year. He's been in the bullpen mainly as a long man for the Rays. Has been in 40 games overall.
First pitch to Blanco, and there's a strike to start it. Blanco at 270. He's been impressive in this series.
He has good speed. He's bunted for a base hit. Got him going last night. Came around to score on what should have been called a triple play.
1-1.
Another case for replay. Brought back into the infield.
Foul back. Out of play it goes.
You know, Andy's only had 3 starts, but he's done okay. 1-1 with a .402 earned run average.
It's a win over Baltimore and a loss to the Blue Jays in Toronto, and a no decision against the A's in a start he made out in Oakland. The chopper to the right side, picked up and tossed to first. Rodriguez to Pena. Blanco is out of there.
I'm sensing a different bounce tonight with this ball club. I think they've been embarrassed. Defense. Carl Crawford plays left field and DJ Upton in center. Matt Joyce in right field this evening. Dan Johnson gets another start over there at third with Evan Longoria out. Jason Bartlett at short. Sean Rodriguez at second. Carlos Pena plays first and John Jason on the plate. This is brought to you by Sweet Bay. Live fresh for less.
Mike Aviles, and the pitch is a strike. Well, I don't know what went on, but the clubhouse was closed for a while.
Yes, it was.
Before the game tonight. And there's no question that the Rays were a bit lethargic in the first couple of games of this series. You know, a couple of ways to look at that. One, an offense that is not producing will make you look a little lethargic. And which comes first? You know, it's the chicken or the egg right there. It was interesting in the opening comments that you cited. There's a fly ball to center. Upton had to adjust his tracking, but he made the catch, and Aviles is out of there. 2 gone. The Rays shut out within a week 3 times, and that's the first time in the history of the franchise that that's happened.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible for a team that's battled for the best record in baseball. BJ had a track it. The wind is swirling tonight a little bit here at Kauffman Stadium. It is cool. It's going to get cooler as evening goes on, like you said, Dwayne. Last couple of nights have been beautiful.
Butler, and the pitch is a strike.
Yeah, I think, you know, part of it certainly, Bruce Chen, you can't take away the performance. He just spotted everything, changed speeds. But the Rays have seen plenty of lefties like Bruce Chen all season long, and they beat him.
Butler takes it the other way, slaps it into right for a base hit.
I think what the Rays need to do is put the shift on for right field for Billy Butler. It'll be unusual, and Joe Madden would be just the guy to dream that up and do it.
Well, he uses that right side of the infield and that hole over there to great advantage.
I think that's his 4th hit going that way in this series at least.
It's one of the reasons he's the 5th leading hitter in the American League.
He had a single and a double last night, both to right field, a double down the right field line. The first night he had a base hit to right field, so that's his 4th hit of the series, all of them to right field.
Hua up there, and he takes the pitch too low. He's playing first base tonight. He's been the DH with Butler at first, and they flip-flop.
I think this guy, Gila Kahui, has big upside with his power. Get a big swing. Also tracks the ball pretty well.
This one is down, and the Royals liken him to Pena a lot. He's a guy who has good power. He hits the ball in the air a lot. He's about 2-to-1 fly balls to ground balls.
Got to be careful with those cutters not to come into his swing. I know Andy likes to throw that a lot, but I think you got to stay away from his swing. Get something fading away.
Scooped out by Jaso, and the count runs to 3-0.
That was a cutter to try to throw in right there. This guy should be swinging 3-0 here from Ned Yost, manager. In that 4 spot for a reason.
3-1. 27-year-old right-hander Andy Sonnenstein getting the start.
I don't know if Ned Yost would put him on his own, but I think of a young hitter, you might as well find out. I mean, what's the difference? And Ned's done a good job. He's made these guys run. He's got some speed. He's brought up some young guys.
And a shot through the right side. Now to second base goes Butler. couple of 2-out singles, first and second.
He's got a nice looking swing. Another cutter right there. See, that's dangerous. He tried to backdoor the cutter, but good thing it stayed away from him. If it comes in any more to him, he gets that thing in the air. It's tied.
Now it's Josh Fields, the third baseman. Fields with 15 hits. He's been a good part of the year on the DL. 1 ball, no strikes.
The Rays need to keep the momentum on their side right now. This is already the first big momentum switch of the game. Keep the game in your hands. Don't give anything back.
A ground ball left side for Bartlett to Rodriguez for the force. Retires the side. Couple of hits, 2 left through 1. 2-0 Rays. The Rays on top. Don't forget tonight's game and all season long. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. Brad Hopp leads it off, and he shoots one deep into right field. Blanco trying to backhand it, and he does. What a catch toward the line. Blanco out there in right field made a heck of a catch. Otherwise, that's past him and down into the corner.
Yeah, they've got some speed in this outfield, and Blanco now playing the corners, trying to find a spot for him. That's a great catch. It had some hook to it and top spin. Brad Hopp didn't get the backspin.
You know, Hopp's not a guy who you expect's going to get a triple, but if he doesn't make that catch, the way that ball curves out there, Blanco could have been chasing that ball all over the place, and Hopp might have had actually a chance at a 3-base hit. Rodriguez is out third to first. 2 pitches, 2 outs. That was quite a catch by Blanco.
I think so. I think you're right. I think it would have been a triple. You know, the Rays clearly have changed a little philosophy in that meeting tonight. Whatever was said, we weren't privy to it, but I'm sure we'll find out after the game. Because you can see their approach is much different. Taking too many pitches, taking too many strikes, everybody hitting 0-1, 0-2. They're trying to jump on some first pitches that they see that are pretty good. Now with 2 outs, different story here with Bartlett, because you don't want a 3-pitch inning here for Davies. So Jason's a speed guy, so that was a good take actually.
Bartlett fouls it. He's down on the count.
But Dwayne, I want to get back to Blanco, because it's interesting. Ned Yost, because of Dyson's speed, Blanco's a center fielder.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid in center field runs so well. Ned said, I got to find another spot for him. Blanco's great in center, but Dyson is quicker. So Blanco's playing right field tonight.
A ball and 2 strikes. Well, the pitching staff will appreciate having a couple of guys out there who can run it down. And we've already seen what Dyson can do. And Blanco with a great catch right there.
Yeah, Dyson is a special young talent that's getting an opportunity to play. Already got
2 strikes.
What, 2 triples in this series? First 2 games. He's taking a couple of hits away. He took away a big hit. It could have been probably a triple for B.J. Upton, which would have tied the game in the 9th inning the first night here.
Foul ball holds the count at 2-2. So Martin has done a nice job after 2 pitches and 2 outs of taking a little time with his at bat. 5 pitch at bat to this point. And a full count. He lifts it into center. Dyson a bit to his left. Makes the catch, and the Rays are up and down 1-2-3. Bottom of the second coming. It's 2-0 Rays. Of the second inning, a reminder, fans, Pepsi giving you the opportunity to win a pair of 2011 Rays season tickets and other great prizes, including a personalized Rays jersey. We'll give you more on that in a moment. Mitch Meyer leads off and sends a fly ball into left center field. Upton on the run, gets over there and makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Just swing by the Pepsi display at Sweet Base Supermarket and register for your chance to win by October 25th. Meyer is retired. Brings up Betancourt.
Pretty solid numbers for Betancourt. 16 home runs, 78 RBIs.
Yeah, he's their top home run guy on the lineup. 16. There's a strike.
I don't think there's any doubt that Butler could be a 25 home run guy. And I think in time, Kansas City probably will ask him to once in a while turn on a few balls.
It's a liner into left, and Betancourt has a base hit. Crawford with the pickup. 1 out single. And number 3 for Kansas City. One on, one out for Brian Pena, the catcher. There's David Price, who figures to get some work out of the bullpen in this game.
Yep, probably 2 innings for him, max. Maybe 30 to 40, 45 pitches, max.
Pitch is upstairs, 1-0. Pena behind the plate for Bruce Chen last night. And Kevin, there was some method to their madness last night.
Yes, there was. I thought Pena did a great job in calling the game. Chen didn't shake him off once.
Sharply hit but fouled. It's 1-1.
And then found out today that they watched, Bruce Chen and Brian Pena watched a video of how Brian Mattis of the Orioles pitched to the Rays, which shut him out the other night at the Trop. As you look at Chen's numbers, first complete game in his shutout in his career, 2-hitter, and they copied the game plan.
Now that's an engaged catcher.
Very much so.
Pitch is up, 2 balls and a strike, and that's what you want to see your catchers do. The Royals have to be very pleased about that from Pena.
And even the foul ball home run that Crawford hit in his last at bat in the 9th, Pena went out to the mound and said, "Hey, stay with your game plan now. You want this shutout." I mean, there's a guy, because Carl hit it foul. I mean, it was 7-0. It wasn't like they weren't going to win the game. He wanted the kid to get, not the kid I call him. He wanted 33-year-old Bruce Chen to get the shutout. There's 33 still a kid, isn't it?
That's right.
They're all kids in baseball, aren't they?
Hey, I don't know if I can speak for you, but from my point of view, they are.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, we know some 40-year-old kids still playing.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
But Bruce Chen, who has been around for a while now, he's 33 years old. That was his first shutout in the big leagues.
Well, I just think that speaks volumes about Brian Pena. It tells you
it does
a lot about him. There's a soft liner, and a great stop by Rodriguez. That ball is still alive, and they're going to get the force at second base. Rodriguez almost pulled it in on a line, had it pop away from him. Of course, Betancourt frozen on that, and Rodriguez still goes to Bartlett to get the force.
You know, we've seen Sean play third, play second, play center, play right, play first base. You know, the reason he dropped that because he's looking to double off the runner at first. he's already looking for the double play.
Yeah, you can almost say that that was dropped on the exchange.
It was. I think it was. Of course, you do have to transfer cleanly because he was up in the air. The umpires would definitely say that. But I think of all the positions from my vantage point, I think second base is his best. I think he's outstanding. I mean, he is one of the top defensive second basemen.
Yeah,
second baseman that we've seen. Robbie Cano, I mean, you have to give him a lot of credit for the job he's done. But I think Sean is right there defensively.
Down to short. Bartlett to Rodriguez for the force. No runs a hit. The man left. We are through 2-0 Rays. Our good friends at the St. Petersburg Times, winner of 2 2009 Pulitzer Prizes for excellence in journalism. Subscribe to the Times, the official newspaper of the Rays, by calling 877 The Times or visit TampaBay.com. Here's John Jaso. He takes the first pitch, and that's a strike around the knees.
I tell you, from my feeling in the postseason, I'm not so sure Jaso shouldn't start against some of those lefties they're going to face. No matter if it's Minnesota or Texas. Just because he works the count, he's got a great eye.
Chopper back over the mound. Behind the bag, Betancourt with the pickup. And so that'll be the first out here in the third. Speaking of our good friends, let's check in with Todd Callis. Todd?
Thank you so much, Dwayne. The last couple of nights, fans have voted for the pitcher of the year. They said that they thought David Price was, and for the rookie of the year, they voted for John Jaso. So tonight, we let the fans vote on our on-our-way text poll question of the evening for the Rays' most valuable player this year. TB1, Evan Longoria. TB2, David Price. TB3, Carl Crawford. TB4, Rafael Soriano. Text your message or text your vote to 789-789, guys.
First pitch, and that ball just fouled off the bat of B.J. Upton. James Hoy first getting out of the way, and then second making the call. One strike.
This is very close. Let's take a look. And BJ had that little smile like, hey, that might have gone over the bag. First it looked like Hoy signaled fair for an instant, but he was just trying to get out of the way.
And BJ pops it up. Short right. Blanco is there, and he makes the catch. 2 gone. 2 up, 2 down. Now Carl Crawford.
Is it tough to do 2 things at once when you got a line drive coming at you at about 98 miles an hour?
Yeah, the first thing is get out of the way. You know, that's what makes it the dilemma with those broken bats when there's a line drive back to the mound or third base. You've got to barrel into the bat, tomahawking
You're not
your
kidding.
direction, and the baseball. And the brain's just not equipped to handle with something like that. Oh, a shot deep to right field off the bat of Crawford, and that baby's gone. Back into the bullpen. Carl Crawford with his 19th home run of the year. He jumps on a 1-0 pitch, and the Rays have a 3-0 lead.
Well, again, Carl's always ready to swing the bat. Crawford
with 19, that's his single-season career high.
19 home runs and 90 RBIs now to go with that. The fastball up and out over the plate. He jumped all over it.
Dan Johnson. Pitch is low and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
I tell you, Carl's the one guy that really hasn't gotten a break here. A rest, I mean, since the clincher. You really can't afford to have him out of there, especially with Evan Longoria out.
Yeah, and Evan had said he's resigned to not playing until the postseason.
Yep.
2-1. Talk about him being back in the lineup for the last couple of games here in Kansas City, but not in last night, not in tonight. 3-1 now to count to Johnson, who's playing third base in Longoria's place.
Here's where Dan's got to be aggressive. With 2 outs, find a gap, try to hit a double.
And it's too high for ball 4. So Crawford gives the Rays the run. A 3-0 lead. 378-foot home run. Johnson follows with a walk.
$19 home runs. He's got 30 doubles. He's got 13 triples. He's got 46 stolen bases. He's hit 308.
And Matt Joyce takes the pitch down. Joyce drove in both Rays runs in the first. And the Yankees and the Red Sox tied 5-5.
Kerry,
the bottom of the 8th at Fenway.
When Kerry Wood's in there, he's thrown 25 pitches. He's thrown 9 strikes in that 8th inning. And it's still going on.
Yeah, the Red Sox tied it and continue to hit. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Apparently the Red Sox had the potential lead run thrown out at the plate. So it's tied 5-5. Fly ball back into center field. Dyson going back, and he's there to make the catch. So the Rays add a run. One swing of the bat from Carl Crawford. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 3-0 Tampa Bay. This series, but it's been a different story tonight with the Rays leading 3-0. And we go to the top side of the order. Blanco to lead it off for Kansas City, and he bunts the ball. Sonnenstein, tough play with Blanco's speed, and he beats it out. Gregor Blanco with another bunt single.
Hard night not to like this guy. This is his 2nd bunt single of the series. This bunt last night in the 1st inning created a run, and this ball is not even a great bunt. It's just he's left-handed. It's great speed. Nice play by Andy. Carlos tried to cheat a little bit, come off the bag, but he didn't get the call. Blanco's a throwback, too. We talked about him last couple of nights, choking up on the bat about 6
I
inches.
like him just because he chokes up. He might be the only major league hitter we've seen all year who will choke up on the bat.
You're right.
Here's Mike Aviles. And there's a strike, and what that tells you is he's willing to check his ego at the door and try to do what he can to make himself a better player and actually help his team.
Utilize the tools that he has, which is speed, using the field, going the other way, hitting the ball, making contact.
1 strike to count. Inside, 1-1.
Yeah, you don't see guys with 2 strikes anymore, especially in the old days. And I mean, the old days only 20 years ago, 25 years ago, choke it up and try to put it in play. You see guys with the same swing on the first pitch as they do on the 3rd strike. And I mean contact hitters. I don't mean power hitters.
Sure.
Power hitters, you don't expect them to change their swing, but I mean guys that should put it in play.
Yeah, I mean power hitters are that. That's what they get paid for.
Right.
But I just think there are too many guys who see themselves as power hitters when they could help in so many other ways. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Blanco's got the right idea. Breaking ball, and it's lined back toward the corner. Crawford makes the pickup. Blanco to third. It's going to be a double for Aviles, and it's second and third now. Let's take a look at what's going on at Fenway. That wild pitch, Kevin, allowing the tying run to score.
Yeah, tying run to score. But then here comes Reddick. He's going to try to score, and Kerry Wood picking it right there and making the play. Keeps it at 5-5 as they go into the top of the ninth. Well, the Rays have their own concerns now with a 3-run lead. The Royals at second and third and nobody out. Started off by the bunt once again by Gregor Blanco.
Now Billy Butler. Butler, 5th in the league in hitting and among the top 10 hitting with men in scoring position. So a tough spot for Andy Sonnenstein. Andy's pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes.
And guess which way Billy Butler's going to try to hit it.
Yeah, really.
320 batting average with 78 RBIs and 15 home runs. Mentioning earlier that I'm sure at some point the Royals would like to see him at 25 or 30, but it's hard to argue with his style. A 320 hitter. I don't know that I would change that.
Foul back.
1-1. Certainly big and strong enough to hit 25 home runs, but here's the.
How about that? Look at all those hits to right field.
Yeah, I mean he's got 68 to center, 68 to left, but 52 to right field. That's why he hits over 300 every year.
Two balls and a strike. Sonnenstein trying to pitch out of trouble. Get the middle of the order to deal with, starting with the number 3 hitter Butler. And Butler is hit by that pitch. So that's going to load the bases.
Jim Hickey on the phone right now. This is a game that the Rays have to win, especially if they want to try to get home field advantage and win the American League East. I think this was a cutter. Andy tries to throw cutters in sometimes on righties. Now Jaso's going to go out there. Hellickson is up right now.
Yeah, he has just started to throw on that call to the bullpen by Hickey. And now Hickey's going to take up some more time by going to the mound after Jaso had gone out there. The entire infield converging on the mound with the bases loaded and nobody out in the bottom of the third.
Well, the thing that if you didn't watch the game last night, Andy was up twice last night in the bullpen. He was ready to come in the middle of the game behind James Shields, and he got up in successive innings. So a lot of us thought perhaps Hellickson would get the start tonight, but Joe Madden elected to start Andy.
See Chad Qualls joining Hellickson down there in the Rays bullpen.
You notice there's a sense of urgency, which there should be. I would have liked to have seen a little more sense of urgency earlier in the week, but you can tell the club is taking this very serious tonight.
Kila Kuahui up here now. He singled his first time. Blanco at Gregor Blanco at third. Mike Aviles aboard at second, and Billy Butler at first. And the pitch is bounced foul up the right side.
So cutter right there in. Got it in enough where Keela couldn't keep it fair, stay inside it, but that is a dangerous pitch unless you've got good late movement.
Rays scored 2 in the first and 1 in the third. They lead 3-0, but Kansas City with a major threat underway. And it's just a bit wide. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Like that Andy went back away and tried to throw a little ground ball pitch there. Just missed the outside corner. This Kansas City team's been at the top of baseball in batting average all season long, right? The top 2 or 3.
Yeah, coming into tonight's second in the league. There's a pitch that darts down and in. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, they are second in the league and also going second in baseball in hitting. Batting average, 275 as a team. A lot of their guys go the other way, just take what the pitcher gives you. You hit it where it's pitched. So far we've seen Keela pull everything.
He shoots this one foul. Hit hard and out of play. Squares the count at 2-2.
There it is right there. Texas leads baseball in hitting at 276. The Royals just a point behind that. And Minnesota at 274. Kevin Seitzer, the hitting coach.
The 2-2 from Sonnenstein, and he got him. Struck him out, had him out in front. A very big pitch made by Andy Sonnenstein right there.
Good off-speed pitch, exactly what the doctor ordered. Nice pitch. Got him at chase, and Joe Matt's coming right out to the mound right now, and I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, second trip to the mound, and so Sonnenstein's going to depart in favor of Chad Qualls. We've got a call to the bullpen, brought to you by Metro PCS, wireless for all. Baseball.com/postseason for information on how you can purchase postseason tickets. There you can lock in your 2011 season ticket suites or register for ticket opportunities. Well, that was a big strikeout for Sonnenstein. That pitch looked like a changeup. Now, he does have a changeup. We don't see it a lot from him. Well, but that had changeup action on it.
And he had a pitch going away from Kahui right there. That was a good pitch because cutters in were dangerous. He got 2 strikes on the cutters in. Thank goodness they ran it up. And then he went away with an off speed.
Chad Qualls, the pitcher, fields the hitter. And that first pitch is a fastball down. A ball and no strikes.
Was Just a great sequence by Andy Sonnenstein to get the one out, trying for a double play right here. Chadwin, 26 appearances now, this being number 26. The ERA doesn't look good, but we've noted that he's pitched much better the last 3 or 4 outings.
And a ground ball. Rodriguez to Bartlett, one, and over to first. They get the double play. Qualls comes in and throws the double play ball. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. The threat stopped on the double play. Will be our checkers double of the game. Here it is.
Look at that backdoor 2-seamer right there, right to Sean Rodriguez. Bartlett hits the bag right there with the right foot, gets it over to Carlos Pena with a nice stretch. There's your 4-6-3 double play and your checkers double of the game. That's exactly what Joe Madden was hoping for, bringing Chad in with the bases loaded, a double play ball. Chad's got the stuff to do it.
Carlos Pena will open the 4th inning against Kyle Davies. A breaking ball, and a swing and a miss. That's a strike. Well, the Red Sox batting in the bottom of the 9th, tied with the Yankees 5-5. Phil Hughes in that game pitching the 9th inning for the Yankees.
So that tells you how badly Joe Girardi wants his first game.
1-1 the count. Pena, Hop, and Rodriguez 2 for the Rays in the 4th inning. Cut and a miss. 1-2.
Got a good fastball to hit. Carlos was underneath it. 94 fastball. He was on it, but right underneath it. His strength, he doesn't have to lift. It'll go if he makes contact.
A foul ball. Further action in the Rays bullpen. Sonnenstein worked 2 1/3, and Qualls got the double play ball. Hellickson, who was up in the last inning, and David Price also. How about that for bullpen action? Hellickson and Price.
It's Joe Madden's trick for the postseason. Everybody thinks David's going game 1. No, he's coming in the 6th inning.
2-2 the count to Carlos Pena.
David in the background there, just getting some long toss. And Hellickson, that means Hellickson will go 1 inning.
Count remains 2-2 to Pena.
Maybe 2, probably 1.
The Rays have dropped 3 straight, 5 out of their last 6, and scored just 9 runs in that stretch, hitting just .161. Pena works the count all the way to 3-2.
Well, it's an amazingly streaky team offensively. We've talked about that all season long. I mean, they can look sometimes so bad, and you wonder how they can get shut out or go 5 innings without a hit, and then they can put up 7 in an inning.
Check swing roller right side. The pitcher Davies covers. 1 away here in the 4th. Let's go to Todd.
Dwayne, I have our AT&T trivia question for the night. I'm out up by the Pepsi porch here. How many Hawaiian-born players currently play in the major leagues? We'll have the answer for you in the bottom half of the 4th. Back to you.
All right. That's one of Todd's favorite places. His hometown, Houston, his favorite place all over the islands in Hawaii.
Well, you know, post game last night, a few of us were together, and we were kind of discussing some of these things. So I can't reveal what I already know, but a lot of Hawaiian players.
Yeah.
I won't reveal it, Todd. We'll keep it.
0-2 the count to Brad Hopp. Hopp hit the ball hard his first time and was robbed of an extra base hit on a great catch by Gregor Blanco in right field. One ball, 2 strikes. Davies out of the Atlanta area, originally drafted by the Braves. He has Hopp out looking. 3rd strikeout for Davies. 2 gone.
Yeah, Davies is a guy that when you see his stuff, you go, how could this guy not be a big time winner? Mid-90s fastball. He's got a pretty good cutter. We talked about his curve that we've seen. He's got a good overhand curve. Changeup. It's all about command, though.
Sean Rodriguez takes a ball.
Too many hittable pitches.
And it's popped up. Mile high pop up of Ely's the second baseman there. And the Rays are up and down 1-2-3. Bottom half of the 4th coming. 3-0 Tampa Bay.
Half of the 4th inning, time to answer our AT&T trivia question. We asked you how many current Major League players were born in the state of Hawaii. Well, 40% of them are here with the Kansas City Royals. You have Scott Feldman, he's from Kailua. You have Kila Ka'aihui, he is from Kailua. Kurt Suzuki is from Wailuku. Kanakoa Teixeira is a Maui boy, and Shane Victorino also from Wailuku. So you've got Teixeira here. You've got Ka'ahue here, and you've got the other 3 guys from the islands. And guys, by the way, one additional note about the state of Hawaii: the all-time leading home run hitter that was born in Hawaii was a former first baseman who played mostly with the Atlanta Braves. Also played some outfield. Mike Kenwai Lum. He was the all-time leading home run hitter for players who were born in Hawaii. That's tonight's AT&T trivia question. Hang loose, guys. Back to you.
And just another bit of trivia. Todd's father was the voice of the Hawaii Islanders for a long time before he got to the big leagues with the Astros years ago.
I knew that. And, how about that having... I mean, I even played in the era of the Albuquerque when Hawaii had a AAA team, and you'd go over there and play for 8 days. Or try to play.
Yeah, that's right. The Islanders had a distinct home field advantage.
Oh, didn't they?
When that happened.
Yeah, an 8-game series all at one time.
Jeremy Hellickson will be the new pitcher for the Rays, and this is how the Rays really, if they utilize him out of the bullpen, prefer it to have him start an inning. 1-0 the count to Mitch Meyer. And a liner into left center field off a fastball. Crawford with the pickup. Meyer has his first hit, the 6th hit for Kansas City.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Hellickson has been in the bullpen for a couple of reasons. The Rays wanted to limit his innings pitched this year. Had a great year in AAA, pitcher of the year. But also, I mean, if he were to be on the postseason roster, this is what he would be doing. He'd be coming out of the pen. And that may be another reason why Andy Sonnenstein started tonight, even though he was up twice last night out of the bullpen.
Here's Yuniesky Betancourt.
Well, knowing that this is going to be a mix and match bullpen game anyway.
Well, I think you saw Qualls, if he's on that roster. The reason he would be is because of his ability to maybe coax the double play ball.
Yep.
Hellickson could give you some innings. He could start an inning and give you a 2 or 3 or
that's right.
More. The approach in the postseason was a little roller foul. From a manager's point of view, there's a great deal more urgency to make a move now and to try to hold them now and to try to prevent big innings now. It's all about now as opposed to the way you might manage during the regular season.
Yeah, and Joe Madden has elected not to have Evan Longoria play now so he could have him next week healthy and hopefully 100%. Now, he was cleared basically yesterday by the trainers with all of his agility drills he did, and Evan thought he was going to be in there, but Joe Madden said, not taking any chances. I want him to be able to play defense 100%, not just swing the bat. He doesn't want him as a DH for the postseason, so that's why Evan was scratched yesterday. But Evan, to his credit, he wanted to play. He said he was ready to go.
A 2-strike count to Betancourt. And a popper. Not too deep to left toward the line for Crawford. He's got it. Back to first goes Mitch Meyer. And Longoria was busy before the game today. And this is some of what the Rays had him doing.
Yeah, and Joe Madden was out there with his own eyes to make sure. He was getting the reports all week, but today he really wanted to see with his own eyes the defense, obviously swinging the bat. Also some of the running drills Evan has been doing with the training staff.
So the Rays not taking any chances. They want to make sure that Evan is completely healthy and ready to go for the postseason. First pitch to Pena is away. 1 ball, no strikes. Longoria with that strain of his left quad, and that came during the Yankee series when he started a double play. A little bit off balance when he made that throw.
Yeah, it was a tough play ranging far to his left as he can do, and then he ended up underhanding the ball to second base, which you don't see too often because his momentum was carrying him that way. And that's
low 2-0,
and that's when he tweaked his quad. And I tell you, not just the offensive standpoint where you can obviously tell the Rays miss him, but we have definitely seen it at third base. And that takes nothing away from the guys that have tried to play over there, whether it be Sean Rodriguez or Dan Johnson playing there tonight, or Ben Zobrist, but well, you really see what you missed defensively with him out of there.
Ooh, a big cut and a miss.
This is where this young right-hander, Jeremy Hellickson, is going to be one heck of a pitcher. In a hitter's count, he has no problem throwing his changeup once, twice, 3 times. We saw him do it against Luke Scott of the Orioles, 5 straight changeups for a strikeout. That's a great equalizer.
2-1 now to the catcher, Pena. That takes the count to 3 balls and a strike.
And he has the confidence to throw his changeup right here if he feels like it. 3-1.
Hellickson's had a good-sized contingent of friends and family coming in from Iowa, from the Des Moines area. Been up around 60 in that group to see Jeremy Hellickson. The 3-1 pitch. And a tap foul.
And there indeed was the changeup. What a great pitch. Pena thought he was going to get a fastball and he's going to turn on it. And a nice 3-1 changeup right here. Looks like a fastball. It's only 85 miles an hour. Some tailing action.
Full count. And that's going to be out of play. A foul ball with Meyer on the move. Yankees have taken the lead.
Check swing on a breaking ball. Bill Hall not only can't barehand it, Gardner scores from second base on that.
So it's 6-5 New York now in the top of the 10th inning. That against Papelbon.
Papelbon also, that was a leadoff walk to Gardner, and you can't do that.
Runner goes again, and the pitch is fouled away. So Meyer retraces his steps.
Some pretty healthy fastballs, 95, 96. Usually we've seen him pitch about 92, 93. Now last night we've had Shields at 95 a couple of times, so I don't know if the guns here are a little bit high. Might come back with that changeup now. We'll see.
Over to first. Meyer, who'd been breaking on the last couple pitches, back in. A little reminder over there from Hellickson.
Yeah, the Royals do like to run. They are 6th in the American League in stolen bases. They have 112. They've got some speed. Ned Yost has been running, hitting and running, making guys stealing third base. Meyer just fell back to the bag on that one.
Sonnenstein for 2 1/3, Qualls 2/3, and Hellickson working his first inning here in the bottom of the 4th. Runner goes, the pitch is low, gets away. There goes Meyer headed to third. Good throw, will get him. He is out at third base. Myers cut down trying to go to third when the ball got by Jaso. He runs into the second out of the inning there at third.
Well, that's how the Royals have been playing. We've seen them do that. Take the extra base. Meyer doesn't have quite the speed that we've seen of Dyson or Gregor Blanco, but he did never hesitate. Now, Jaso didn't get down on this one to block it, but he didn't stop hustling right there. He took a quick peek back, and he knew Meyer was going. And he throws a strike over there to Dan Johnson. Trying to get to third base with one out, and he blew him up right there. Jason made a nice throw.
So 2 gone with Pena at first on the walk. Dyson takes the pitch down. Gerard Dyson did into a fielder's choice his first time.
What a great story. 50th round draft choice, making it to the big leagues.
A strike at the knees. 1-1.
course, you know, Hellickson could be pumped up with a lot of family here. Maybe he is throwing 95.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course, you never know. He's got the demeanor of a guy that's been pitching about 15 years in the big leagues. Can't really tell if he's pumped up.
Roller by the mound. Let it go down there for Rodriguez, and they get the force. Rodriguez to Bartlett to retire the side. We are through 4, 3-0 Tampa Bay. Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins October 6th with the Division Series on TBS. Jason Bartlett will open the 5th inning here for the Rays. In the top of the order, John Jaso and B.J. Upton against Kyle Davies. Hellickson working the 4th for the Rays. Bartlett sends a popper into short right. Blanco on the run, but he cannot get there. That's a base hit. Bartlett on his way to second, and the throw. He got in there. Bartlett in safely. Betancourt putting the tag on him. John Hirschbeck on the call, and he's going to talk it over with Betancourt. Davies, who was in line trying to back up the play, was looking for an out call. But the Rays have a man at second base on a double to open the 5th.
Well, this is how the Rays play, too. He was looking for 2 all the way, and Blanco throws a bullet over there, a strike. You know what? I think he did get in there. I think his left foot got in there. He caught the ball, but I think the tag was a little bit late. Very close.
There's John Jaso. The pitch is a strike, so that's a double for Bartlett, his 27th double of the year. Yeah, I think you're right on that. Bartlett breaks an 0 for 10 with that 2-base hit. To Jaso.
Let's take a look.
He did get in there.
Here's the foot, left foot. I think the foot got, yeah, it's in there. Just barely. Right there. And now the tag. Kind of a sweep tag. I mean, Betancourt really didn't get in there. He could have actually done a little bit better job of even kind of blocking Jason off a little bit.
With a little tap by the mound, that's going to advance the runner. Aviles with a pickup, and it's close at first. Bartlett goes to third, and Jaso is out, moving the runner over.
That's why Joe Madden likes John Jaso leading off against right-handed pitching. It's not that he's a burner as far as running, but he does work the count. His on-base percentage is high. He's a contact guy, and he hustles. And he makes this play very close. was kind of looking at the play. Really didn't even be looking at it. If he's saying he would have been that much faster if he didn't, but he almost got an infield hit out of that.
B.J. Upton in the batter's box now with the infield in. Pitch is too low. 1 ball, no strikes. B.J. 1 for 2 tonight, had an infield hit his first time and scored on the triple by Joyce. B.J. shoots it back into center field. Dyson's there to make the catch. A tag by Bartlett. He will score, and Upton drives in the run to make it 4-0. B.J.'s 62nd run batted into the year. And with that man at third, he got the ball airborne.
Yep. It's good execution right there by B.J. Gets the ball in the air. A good hustle double by Bartlett. And good execution by John Jaso to have a productive out to get Jason Bartlett over to third.
Crawford takes the pitch inside. Carl 2 for 2 with a single and a home run. His 19th home run and his 90th run batted in. Davies makes a good pitch there. 1-1. Breaking ball is down. 2 balls and a strike.
Right there for Carl Crawford, his 19th home run of the year. What a season for Carl Crawford. Run production. Cam Scott replay right there.
2-2 to Crawford. He's out on strikes to retire the side, but the Rays convert the leadoff double into a run. They now lead 4-0. Bottom of the 5th, it's time to take a look at the upcoming Rays schedule, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Rays and the Royals will wrap up the regular season here tomorrow. We'll be with you at 2 o'clock when Wade Davis goes to the Hill against Sean O'Sullivan. As we look forward to the upcoming Rays schedule, you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. David Price on the hill for the Rays. 16 pitches in 1 inning for Hellickson, and now it's Price.
How about David's numbers? What a year he's had. 19-6, 2.73 ERA. That's third in the American League. 187 strikeouts, a 222 batting average against. He's going to get an inning, maybe 2 innings of work here, getting tuned up for the postseason. His postseason start next Wednesday, whoever that may be, Texas or Minnesota.
So it'll be the top of the order. Gregor Blanco to face David Price. Blanco throws it foul and breaks his bat up the left side. That's a strike.
I think David's loose. That's 96 right away in the first pitch. That's why he broke his bat. Explosive fastball and consistent all year, both sides of the plate.
Well, you see, Sabathia has 21 wins. Price and Lester with 19 in the battle for the Cy Young Award. There's a strike. 0-2. Foul ball again.
He just throws an easy 97, doesn't he? I mean, it's just, he's not a max effort guy with his delivery like a lot of guys that throw hard. He's just smooth. Easy step back. He's already in the turn position and the ball just jumps out of his hand.
It's fouled out of play.
Not a lot of moving parts, just very simple delivery and very effective. And his consistency this year on both sides of the plate and north and south. He goes up the ladder really well also.
Toward the left field line, Crawford over there in a hurry into foul territory, and Crawford makes the catch on the move. And so that is out number one here in the fifth inning. Game one is over. The Yankees and the Red Sox. A strikeout by Mariano Rivera ends it in 10 as the Yankees defeat the Red Sox 6-5. Mike Aviles takes the pitch away. 1 ball, no strikes, so there's a 1-game differential now. The Yankees leading the Rays by 1 full game. 2-0. They'll play another one.
Day-night doubleheader. That's a long first game, too. And not unexpected when the Yankees play the Red Sox, two teams that really work the count. It'll be a long night for both clubs.
Check swing and a foul ball takes the count to 2-2.
But you know, the good thing for the Yankees from their standpoint, they have Thursday off. And even though they didn't play last night and had to sit around, they've had 2 days off.
4 hours and 18 minutes the time of that first game.
Man.
And a cut and a miss. Aviles just got a little piece of that one, fouling it right back into the mitt of John Jaso. So David Price has retired Blanco and Aviles.
97 fastball goes up the ladder a little bit right there. Can't catch up with that.
Here's Billy Butler. Win number 19 for Price came Tuesday night. 8 shutout innings over Baltimore as the Rays won that game 5-0. And there's a strike to Butler. There's a line on Price that night. 113 pitches. 2 strikes the count.
Well, I guess the TV gun is right because this is what David pitches at, about 96 to 98. Hellickson, we saw at 95. And so I'd say this TV gun is right.
And a line drive caught by Johnson at third. 1-2-3 go the Royals. We're through 5, and the Rays lead 4-0. In Kansas City, just a reminder to look for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment coming up later in tonight's game.
About that inning for David Price, Dwayne. 13 pitches, 11 strikes.
Yep. Well, I was just kind of checking out the not only the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment there, but maybe a little ice cream.
Looking for a little combo there.
Yeah.
Miller Lite and an ice cream.
That, huh? Well, here's Dan Johnson, and the pitch is a strike. Well, it's pretty typical David Price there. 13 pitches, 11 strikes, and a 1-2-3 fifth. Here we are in the 6th inning. 1-1 to count to Dan. Johnson, Joyce, and Pena due up. Two and one. Two. Johnson was called out on strikes his first time, and he walked in the 3rd. Runs the count all the way out. And Johnson takes a good look at these pitches.
Yeah, he's got about a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
On the ground to first. Johnson is out number 1. You can own a piece of Rays history with the limited edition Matt Garza plaque. It's available at RaysBaseball.com exclusively. The custom piece has a game ticket from the historic no-hitter July 26th. The signed picture of Matt Garza. Game used dirt, all MLB authenticated. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get yours while supplies last. All proceeds, by the way, benefit the Rays Baseball Foundation. Here's Matt Joyce taking a pitch upstairs. Joyce tripled in the first 2 runs of this game back in the 1st. Well, if you look at Joyce's numbers, we talked about this a little earlier. For an example, in comparison to the great year Carl Crawford has had, Joyce actually has a higher on-base percentage, and that slugging percentage is pretty close to Carl's. He is thrown out this time by Betancourt on the check swing roller. And of course, there are a couple different types of players overall, but those 2 numbers, very important numbers, and they reflect well for Matt Joyce.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, that's a nice play barehanded by Betancourt. That was his only chance, really, to get Matt Joyce, who's just a stride away from first base. Nice stretch by Billy Butler. Absolutely right. I mean, he's been very productive. When he squares one up, it's in the gap. He's hit big home runs. He's hit a couple grand slams that have been winners this year. I think Matt's going to be an important guy in the postseason for the Rays. You know, he grows on you, too. The more you see Matt play and get his opportunities, I think he lays a great at-bat on you, too. He's thinking hit, but yet he's able to track the ball well and lay off some of those off-speed pitches in the dirt.
And I think he addressed some of those areas the Rays had talked with him about in the spring and the time he spent at AAA. He's been aggressive in the outfield, and so I think they've been very happy with what they've seen from him.
Oh, I think so. I mean, he's got, with those 2 RBIs tonight, he's got 10 home runs and 40 RBIs. That was his 3rd triple.
There's Pena hitting one back into left field. Meyer on the run. That's going to be over his head. Pena on his way to second with a stand-up double. So Pena takes a 2-base hit the other way, his 17th double.
That's what Carlos can do right there, is go the other way. We talked about that last night. Look at his fastballs up and away, had some tailing action to it, and he goes with it. He waited, let it get deep, and goes with it. Plenty of power going the other way. And, you know, we've seen him, we were talking about this off and on this week, about when he got going, he got his batting average up, but more than that, he was hitting home runs the opposite field at home, at the Trot.
Brad Hopp Strikes one high, 1-0.
Sometimes you just got to go back to basics, you know, see it and hit it. It's the old baseball.
This one is down 2-0.
Saying, Dwayne, which you've heard for years, it's the KISS theory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, the other one, I always think of Yogi Berra when he says you can't think and hit at the same time.
That's right.
And that makes all the sense in the world.
Sometimes we can overanalyze this game as players. I mean,
3-0.
You know, you're looking for that perfect pitch. You're looking in your zone. You want to take a strike. You want to work the count. I mean, sometimes aceto gas in theory in Toronto really works out. You know, you see a pitch, if you like it, I don't care what it is, fastball, hanging slider, curveball, jump on it.
Well, they simplified that approach.
Yeah, that's Jose Bautista.
Yep.
And Vernon Wells.
A strike, and now that fastball in there on Hop makes it 3-1.
I love what Jose said recently. We were talking to him about a week and a half ago, and he said, you know, Cito's philosophy and Dwayne Murphy, the hitting coach up there in Toronto, said, you know, why should we wait for the seventh pitch to hit it if it's the first pitch that's the one we're looking for? That's the same one that would be the seventh. What's wrong with that?
Absolutely. Hop has drawn a walk, so he's at first. Pena's at second. Sean Rodriguez will be the hitter. There's Ned Yost looking on. Rodriguez looks at a strike.
It's a nasty pitch right there from Davies. Just, we said earlier, his stuff is so good. He just makes a lot of mistakes in the zone. Hittable pitches, but that one was not hittable.
One ball, one strike.
I personally think, by the way, talking about Jose Bautista, I think he's an MVP candidate. I don't know how you can discount him. Strong one, I mean.
It's a 2-1 count. I think he ought to get consideration, no question about that. It's, you know, it's just hard if your team doesn't win.
Right.
It's difficult to win that award. But based on what he's done and the offensive production, Rodriguez started to go. He checked, and that takes the count to 3-1. Wally Bell down at first base says he held up.
And he did. He held up. Now, he threw a 94 fastball at the knees in the black, and now he's fooling around with cutters and everything else. Why can't you double up that pitch? Now you're 3-1. And now you throw a cookie. You know, Sean's eyes lit up, and he got out in front of it. That's a little cutter up right there. Your first fastball was 94 at the knees in the black. You got a feel for that. Why can't you go back out there? Everybody wants to throw a cutter. They want to trick people.
3-2 in the dirt. That's going to load the bases.
Like that. I mean, you're tricking people. 92 cutter. Okay. I mean, why can't you throw a 94 double up on the black a couple times?
Well, the bases are loaded with 2 outs, and Ned Yost is headed to the mound. Jason Bartlett due up. We're going to see a new pitcher here. So the Kansas City Royals make a pitching change. Back in a moment. By Checkers, Little Place, Big Taste. By your Greater Tampa Bay Buick and GMC dealers. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Bases loaded, 2 gone. Jason Bartlett will be the hitter, facing Jesse Chavez. And he goes after the first pitch, skies it into deep right center field. Dyson on the run. Over there's Blanco, and Blanco makes the catch on the track, leaving the bases loaded. Middle of 6, 4-0 Tampa Bay. Of the 6th inning, the Rays have a 4-0 lead. David Price worked the 5th inning.
Yeah, he was electric. 13 pitches, 11 strikes. Fastball was between 96 and 98. Didn't even use and didn't need his secondary pitches tonight, so he got his inning of work. And Joe Batten said that's enough. He's ready.
Well, let's look at the American League Cy Young Award candidates. Price, Buchholz, Lester from the Red Sox, Sabathia from the Yankees, Felix Hernandez from the Mariners. Well, you know, this could be an interesting situation here with this game, Kevin, because Andy Sonnenstein worked 2 1/3, can't qualify for the win. So if the Rays maintain this win, they're up 4-0 now. Ball's got the double play ball, worked 2/3. Hellickson, 1 scoreless inning. Price, a scoreless inning. And now Jake McGee comes on. Going to be an interesting situation for the official score if the game should end the way it is and the Rays just go to their bullpen and piece this together.
Well, that's what's going to happen. I mean, Jake McGee's in there now. And the reason, Jake's in there is, he could be, if the Rays do go to Minnesota, I mean, he could be on the postseason roster again to face some of those lefties the Twins have. They have more lefties in their lineup than Texas does, although Josh Hamilton's back, and don't know about David Murphy's status overall with Texas, but the Twins with Kubel and Tomei and Mauer and Bernard Span, you kind of like to have 2 lefties out of your pen. But you're right, Reed Gridak's also in the game.
Reed at second base, and Sean Rodriguez moves over from second to third. Johnson lifted, and the pitch is a strike. 1-1 here. Jake McGee, pitcher number 5 for the Rays.
As far as
up here, the first baseman.
Yeah, Dwayne, as far as a scoring decision on should the Rays win this game, as it stands, that's a tough one right there, because it's who pitches effectively. Basically, it's not automatically you know, who came in after Andy Sonnenstein. Now the starter has to go 5. We know that. And that didn't happen, and we knew it wasn't going to happen. But I mean, you got to give benefit to Qualls with what he did to get out of that inning, because that was the turning point of the game, that double play ball. But from a the Rays standpoint, it's true they love to see David Price get his 20th win.
1-2 is skied down the right side, out of play.
But I think Joe Madden did the right thing. You can't start David Price the last weekend of the season when you know you're already in. Much like the Yankees aren't starting CC Sabathia. If you're going to win the division, you got to do it with the rest of the guys. But I like that David got an inning of work. And we were told maybe he was going to go 30 pitches, maybe 30 to 45. I think Joe saw his stuff, saw command, 13 pitches, 11 strikes, and said, you know, that's enough. He's healthy. Let's not force the issue. He got a good inning, faced some hitters. He's ready for next Wednesday. Every manager is concerned with that. I think that's the concern with Evan Longoria.
Yeah, Evan has wanted to play, and Madden's playing it safe. Swing and a miss on that fastball at 96. So McGee continues to be impressive every time we see him.
Yes, he does. He can let it fly. He's got a nice fluid delivery, too. That ball jumps out of his hand, too. Evan has been an observer here all week. I'm sure he's itching to play. He's becoming a bench coach for Joe Madden. Where's Davey?
Josh Fields, pitch is low. Fields grounded into the double play in the third. And the Qualls came in with the bases loaded and 1 out. And the Rays leading 3-0. They got the 4-6-3 double play out of Fields. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, that was big, and that's also what Joe Madden wanted to see. I mean, that's if you're going to have Qualls on a postseason roster, that's how you're going to use them. For a big double play ball.
Fields pops it up. Brignac in short right, out from second base. So 2 up, 2 down in the 6th inning. See the Royals, they're wearing those powder blue jerseys. Those are usually singled out for day games or Sunday games. Playing in those jerseys here Saturday night. Here's Mitch Meyer. And there's a strike.
You know, if you throw 94 to 99, shouldn't you have confidence?
Yeah, wouldn't you think so? Ground ball, base hit up the middle. Well, Meyer sends a 95-mile-per-hour fastball into center field and picks up a hit.
Yeah, Jake's got an interesting variation. He can hit 91 to 93, and then all of a sudden there's 98 to 99, and that's enough for Joe Madden. Well, back to the bullpen.
Yeah, Betancourt due, and Balfour is in the bullpen. Back in a moment.
You know,
4-0 bottom half of the 6th inning. Not only has this been Carl Crawford's finest offensive year, also may be his best year defensively. We caught up with Carl and asked him about the possibility of winning a Gold Glove.
That's what you would think. 8 years of just playing solid defense. I don't know what the problem is or why it's been that way, but if I don't win it this year, then I'm done with that award. Seriously, I mean it's a sham if I don't win it this year, and I can say that because I feel like my level of play been so high for 8 years, and I put myself up against any outfielder in baseball and debate you all day. So they can say what they want, but I really feel like I've been looked over the past few years, and this year I hope that they do the right thing.
Gotta love his honesty, guys. And even on that foul ball catch earlier off the bat of Blanco, not a lot of left fielders get there or make it look that easy. Back to you.
All right, Todd, you're right about that. As Grant Balfour comes on to face Yuniesky Betancourt. The first pitch is lifted into right field. Matt Joyce is there, and that will retire the side. We're through 6. The Rays 4, Kansas City nothing. Leading 4-0. For the latest updates on the Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the dime to the clubhouse, everywhere in between. You'll get in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com. I want to know the count here to John Jaso. Well, hey, that was a great shot. You talk about a family from enjoying the game from all angles. That's it. Jaso sends a high fly ball to center, and Dyson makes the catch one away.
Yeah, that was a playoff family, wasn't it? They got everybody covered.
Yeah.
Just like Dyson does.
Look at that.
New York.
Longoria,
Rays.
The Rays, the Rangers, and New York, and the Twins. Hey, we're going to the playoffs. B.J. Upton lifts a high foul out of play. 1 out. Jesse Chavez on the mound here in relief. He came on and got Bartlett to end the 6th inning with the bases loaded. It's a 1-1 count. Chavez, 27 years old.
Pretty good
with that pitch.
Pretty good trade, though, wasn't it? The Rays made.
Well, yeah, it's the Rays. The Rays got him from Pittsburgh for Akinori Iwamura, and then sent him to the Braves for their current closer, who's had such a great season for the Rays and really has been, in many ways, you could argue that Rafael Soriano has been, in a way, an MVP on this team with what he's done to close games. Full count here now to BJ. And they sent Chavez to Atlanta for Soriano. And BJ is out on strikes. So 2 gone with the bases empty. And the Auto Weight Text Poll coming up. Who has been the Rays' most valuable player this year? Would it be Evan Longoria, David Price, Carl Crawford, or Rafael Soriano? Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rates apply. Got a pitching change coming here. Chavez departs after 1 inning. 2 outs into the 7th. We'll be back with a new pitcher in a moment. Carl Crawford will be the hitter.
And watch his defense, why the Gold Glove is so important to Carl. There's just a few plays to give an example of how he closes and the range, the way he tracks the ball off the bat defensively.
Faces Dusty Hughes, a left-hander here out of Horn Lake, Mississippi. And the pitch is foul. That's a strike. Well, he gets... Number one, Crawford is a humble player. But what he said about the Gold Glove is about as outspoken as he's going to get.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't heard him talk like that, and I thought it was candid, honest with Todd there, and speaking from the heart.
It's a high popper right side. Vilas under it, makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side. 7th inning stretch time in Kansas City with the Rays leading 4-0. 0-0. There's a look at Carl Crawford out there in left field. And he's had in so many ways, his best season in the major leagues.
Yeah, how about the numbers overall? 19 home runs, 90 RBIs, batting average of 308. You can see on your right side, previous best in different years. 315, 18 home runs, 81 RBIs, 104 runs scored. But 2010, this is all in 1 year. I mean, by far, his best big league season, all in one package. And for him, from a personal standpoint, not a bad year to do it when you're a free agent. But the Gold Glove, I thought it was really interesting the way he wants that award. And he takes pride in his defense, and I think he's going to get it this year.
Balfour throws a strike to Brian Pena. The bottom of the 7th is underway, and that's Joaquin Benoit now up in the bullpen.
You know, the other thing about that award, that award is voted on by the managers.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not a press award. It's not a media award. It's the managers, and the managers have to take notice. I know Buck Showalter, who we recently saw at Tropicana Field, has said that he's going to vote for Carl Crawford. He's seen enough of him. But I know from being a manager in the big leagues, I always took pride in voting for that award, because you're asked to at the end of the season, and you pick 3 outfielders. The problem with that award is that usually, like in my day, it was Griffey. A lot of managers will pick all center fielders. Yeah. They should pick a left fielder, 1 center fielder, and 1 right fielder, because they're all different positions. Instead of just grouping it as we'll pick 3 outfielders.
And the count is full now. Well, Buck had the advantage of seeing all those highlights in his former TV job.
That's right. That's true.
And, and it is true. And
absolutely.
And you're like that. I mean, you were a manager and then in TV, and you got to see all of those highlights nightly, so you really got a good flavor of who was outstanding.
Well, just think of Ned Yost. Now, he has to vote in this award. Ned Yost hasn't seen Carl Crawford. This is his first year over here as a Royals manager. He hasn't seen Carl Crawford. He wasn't even with back in May, he wasn't the manager here.
That's right.
And he gets to vote on this award, so he's going to vote in the guys he sees most.
Carl in line to take care of the fly ball off the bat of Brian Pena, and that's 1 away.
No, he's going to vote, and he might ask for help. He might call another coach or manager and say, what do you think of this guy? But if somebody stands out that he sees in the Central playing most of the games here, he's going to vote for those guys. With the unbalanced schedule, when you don't see a team for 4 months, I mean, you can't blame the managers. They can go on reputation, but I think Carl's gotten enough publicity now nationally where people that even haven't seen him enough say, this guy he's deserving.
Yeah. Well, and that happens so often. We talked about him not being outspoken. He's humble, and he doesn't promote himself a lot in that way. And sometimes a guy who is as good as you can be, but is not outspoken, is going to be overlooked, and that's unfortunate. That's why I think it's important, like you said, when you're a manager, you took pride in making the right decision and looking for the guy who really was the best, not the guy who got the most publicity or the guy who drew more attention to himself than the other guy.
Right.
The guy who did the best job day in and day out.
Well, in my day, especially in the American League West, in the old West, being in Texas, we saw Ken Griffey Jr. 18 games. Well, just the home runs alone, I'm not talking about those. I mean, defensively, he won enough games with his glove. He was the first guy put down the outfield. That was easy.
Yep. 1-2, the count to Dyson.
But he was also a highlight reel on all the national sports shows, so other managers saw him too, plus his home runs, and he was front and center and on TV every night, so it was easy to vote for Junior if you didn't see him a lot. Carl Crawford's been different, and for the Rays, not really getting enough national publicity until the last 3 years.
A cut and a miss. Dyson out on the fastball. 2 up, 2 down against Balfour.
And all I can tell you the couple of years I've been working with the Rays in these games with you, Dwayne, is I've seen enough of Carl Crawford. I've seen probably 40 catches in 2 years that other guys don't get to. Both going left, right,
absolutely
back, against the wall.
Blanco. This is the slider.
That pitch. Movement right there.
Well, the Rays started Sonnenstein, Qualls through a big double play ball, Hellickson for an inning, Price for an inning, McGee 2/3, and now Balfour ahead of Blanco 0-2.
And Benoit will be next, and he needs to throw. He hasn't thrown in a while. Of course, he hasn't been here.
Yeah. Went to the Dominican for the birth of his child. Count still 2 strikes. You know, Balfour, he worked 2/3 of an inning in the Baltimore series, but dating back to the 24th until now, the 24th of September until now, he'd had only 1 outing in 2/3 of an inning, and he's got a full inning right now working on Blanco, and he strikes him out. So there's an inning and a third of work tonight for Grant Balfour. So it's a 1-2-3 7th inning. We go to the 8th, 4-0 Tampa Bay. Yourself 2010 postseason tickets. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com to find out how. By the way, tickets for the first 2 Rays home games, 1 and 2 of the AL Division Series, sold out. Reed Brignac's going to lead it off here in the 8th against the left-hander Dusty Hughes. A ball, no strikes. It's high. Brignac hitting in the spot originally occupied by Dan Johnson. Behind 3-0. Matt Joyce will be next, and then Carlos Pena is due up.
Yeah, Joe Madden felt with the 4-run lead get the better defense out there.
3-1.
Dan Johnson had his 3 at-bats. So Reed comes into the game for defense. There's ball 4.
Brignac draws the walk against the left-hander.
Well, for me, Matt Joyce had the biggest hit of the night in the first inning with 2 outs with that big triple. Get the Rays on the board first. Very important.
His 3rd triple of the year. And he takes a strike on the inside part of the plate. Jumped on the first pitch and drove it into right center for 3 bases.
Yep, he got a fastball up and away, and he was able to get on top and threw it with a bullet to right center field for that triple.
One ball, 1 strike. Two balls and a strike. You know, come again, the Rays tonight have 4 runs, but just 6 hits. They were hitting .248. That matches, that .248 average matches the Boston Red Sox. Cut and a miss. The Boston Red Sox of 1916. They won the World Series in 1916. And that's the 7th lowest ever by an American League team qualifying for the postseason. How about that?
No, it's pretty unusual that the Rays have done what they've done with that batting average. But again, as Andrew Friedman explained, it's not exactly what he had hoped. He thought they'd actually have more power, but the Rays do it in bunches. They do it with their speed. They put pressure on the opposition. They do it by getting on base. They do draw a lot of walks. And, you know, they have enough power. The power is actually tied for 5th in the American League. 159 home runs, but to have a batting average in the 240s, 26 in baseball, and yet still have a chance for the American League East crown is pretty amazing in this division, especially. But you said it from day one, Dwayne. You got to score over 5 runs a game to compete in this division, and they find a way to do that.
Yeah, they managed to do that. You're not going to win the American League East unless you can score 5 runs a game.
Yeah. I mean, you look at even today's game in Boston. The Yankees win 6-5.
Yep.
It's just too tough of a division.
3-2, and that's foul back. Speaking of runs scored, you know, the Rays are coming in 3rd in the league in runs scored, and they're chasing their all-time club record for runs scored. Right now, they have 799 runs scored this year, and their club record is 803. So they're going to have to score, you know, either a few more runs tonight or tomorrow. There's a liner foul up the right side to break the record, the club record in runs scored. There you are right there. Last year, 803, and you know, for a while this year, you know, they've got hot, and it appeared that they would break that record easily.
That's right.
This last week or so has made it difficult.
Yep, the 3 shutouts in 1 week, which we touched on earlier today, that's never happened in Rays history, being shut out 3 times in a week.
Rays facing the 28-year-old left-hander Dusty Hughes. This will turn out to be at least a 10-pitch at bat, and now more. That's the other thing about Joyce. You know, he's facing a left-hander here. He's not seen him before, but against lefties, it's not unusual for him to have an at-bat like this one.
Yeah, no, I think he does. He sees the ball pretty well overall. He hangs in there.
And a line drive right down to first. They're going to get the double play. Brignac had no place to go. So the line drive double play unassisted. 2 gone and the bases are empty.
I think even if Reed was able to freeze in a line drive, I think Keela makes that play. don't think there's any chance for Reed to get back. He thought it was down the line. He took off, but I don't think he gets back either way. Kila Kahui from Hawaii.
Carlos Pena takes a breaking pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. Greg Holland up in the bullpen. And a liner that's going to be caught by the shortstop Betancourt. So we'll head into the bottom half of the 8th. It's 4-0 Rays. And register for your chance to win by October 25th. Joaquin Benoit, the new pitcher for the Rays. Pitcher number 7.
Look at these numbers right here. 62nd appearance, 1.39 with the earned run average. 58 in the 3rd inning, 72 strikeouts, only 11 walks, and a 143 batting average against. In the 8th inning, man all season long with a lead to get the ball to Soriano. It's a nice 8-9 combination there with Benoit and Soriano all season long. Which makes it a 7-inning game for Joe Madden managing when you got guys like that that's pretty much lights out once you've got a lead getting into the 8th.
He faces Mike Aviles, the second baseman. And a foul ball that dislodges Jaso's mask. Strike 1.
Yeah, those are fun.
If you've got any fillings, you check them to make sure everything's still intact.
Now you know what happened to me. That's why the way I am right now. 97 fastball comes back at the mask over 100 miles an hour right into your face. Yeah, see, umpires know too. They get the same thing as catchers. The mask protects you, but you feel it, believe me.
And a foul ball the other way, out of play, 0-2. Butler next. The Wheelers came into the game at 3:06. Minnesota beat Toronto 5-4. So the Twins get their 94th win. The Rays already at 94. Yankees get their 95th win, and they have another game to go against Boston. Aviles fouls this one back.
Yeah, that game's already underway, and Daisuke's in big-time trouble in the first inning.
The Yankees have picked up at least a run.
Yep. Bases loaded walk by Daisuke.
A ball, 2 strikes. And a line drive right at Rodriguez, who made the catch. One away. Let's check in with Todd.
Dwayne, how about the turnaround time in that doubleheader? 49 minutes between games 1 and 2 with a whole new crowd at Fenway Park.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a day-night doubleheader. What's going on there?
Day did turn into night, right, Todd?
Yeah. Hey, the Twins, by the way, lock up seed number 2 in the playoffs with that Yankees victory. They can no longer have the best record in the American League. How about this? A very tough call tonight for the official scorer here in Kansas City, Del Black. He is going to go with Chad Qualls right now, and he refers to Rule 10.17b in the rule book. The intent, if a starting pitcher does not go 5 innings, the relief pitcher must pitch at least 1 complete inning or pitch when a crucial out is made within the context of the game in order to be credited as the winning pitcher. He determined Chad Qualls with that double play was a critical point in the game. Guys, back to you.
Well, you can't argue with that. That's a considered opinion there.
Yeah, no, I thought that's the way he would go. We mentioned that a couple of innings ago, that Qualls got the biggest outs of the game. And even backing up one before that, and he came out, he got a big strikeout with the bases loaded. But Qualls got the big double play ball when the game was in balance right there. Could have changed the other way toward Kansas City's favor. Bases loaded in the 3rd inning. Andy got a big strikeout, Tequila, and then Qualls got the double play.
And a strike on the outside corner. 1 and 2. Well, you could tell from that shot of Del Black that Del has a certain presence about him, and I thought that was a well thought out, reasoned opinion that he issued from the official scorer's bench.
Yeah, you don't see that rule come into play often, but it is. It is in the rule book. You and I talked about it. I mean, it is who pitches best after that if the starter gets knocked out, and he has to go 1 inning, or like he said, critical outs there, 2/3 of an inning, big double play ball.
High shot back into right center field. That ball's pretty well tagged. It will go to the wall. Joyce with the pickup, and Butler motors into second with a double. Well, that gives Kansas City 8 hits on the night.
This is Billy Butler's 45th double right here. High fastball up and out over the plate. He gets inside it like he does. Short, compact swing. That's his 5th hit of the series. All 5 hits are to right center, to right, and then down the right field line. He's had a double to right field down the line, this double to right center, and 3 singles straight away right.
That brings up Keila Kuahua with a man at second and 1 out. He's playing first base tonight and singled in the first. A couple of strikeouts. He's 1 for 3 as you look at Butler on second. And a strike call.
Healthy fastball right there, 97 at the knees. Daisuke Matsusaki got out of the first with 1 run, but he had 30 pitches and only 16 strikes.
30 pitches in the first, that's par for the course for Matsuzaka.
And the last time he faced the Yankees, he surprised everybody by throwing strike 1, strike 2, going deep.
Yeah, for him, it was pitching backwards.
Yeah, he was. Throwing strikes for a change.
0-2.
There's a change.
Boy, that's a great pitch. It's been so great for Benoit all year. Benoit last pitched on Monday. Pitched 1 inning in the Baltimore series on Monday and picked up a couple strikeouts. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
That's why lefties don't bother Benoit. He's a good guy in the 8th inning. It doesn't matter if he's facing lefties or righties because he's got that changeup. And his fastball's healthy enough at 96, 97. And he'll also throw a slider once in a while to right-handers.
Ball 2. Jim Troy says he held up.
Good pitch, though. That's a good take right there by Keela.
A 2-2 and a foul ball, a fastball.
Jeez, that's twice into the mask. 98 fastball and right back into his face mask again. Jeez, did my mask, did my helmet get cracked? Is my equipment okay? Because my head hurts.
Somebody answered the phone.
Wow. That rings it right there, doesn't it? Not a laughing matter with all these concussions in baseball today, really.
Yeah, the Twins finally said Morneau's not going to be available for the postseason.
Yep, I saw that. Ron Gardenhire said, no way.
The chopper right side. Brignac will make the play. Over to third goes Butler. He's there with 2 outs. Josh Fields on his way to the plate. Go to RaysBaseball.com/postseason. You'll get information on how you can purchase postseason tickets. While there, you can lock up your 2011 season tickets, suites, or register for ticket opportunities. There's Fields. Pitch is a strike. Kansas City third baseman 0 for 3 tonight. Nothing in 2.
That little slider we were just talking about. Nice pitch, nice depth. Yeah, good differential on his pitches, too. This is an 88-mile-an-hour slider. Nice and tight. His fastball gets up there to 96 to 97.
One ball, 2 strikes. There's Rafael Soriano in the bullpen.
44 saves, 1.76 ERA.
And And a swing and a miss. He threw it by Fields. Fastball at 97. We go to the ninth. The Rays lead 4-0. Four to nothing. And Brad Hopp's going to lead it off against the left-hander Dusty Hughes. Hopp, nothing out of two. He walked his last time. A ball and no strikes. Hopp made a bid for an extra base hit back in the second inning when Blanco made a great catch on a sinking line drive into right field. 1-1. There's a strike. It's 1-2. Hughes worked the eighth. He got the final out in the seventh inning. Dropped down a little bit. Tried to throw the breaking ball, and it stayed in, and the count is 2-2.
Yeah, he also slowed his arm action down in his motion. You could tell that pitch was coming.
This one is high. He's another 50th round draft pick on this Kansas City club. He was originally drafted by the Marlins in the 50th round. Pitching here in the big leagues. And Hopp is called out on strikes. Hopp's going to first, but he was called out on strikes. So a strikeout of Hopp for the first out in the ninth. That'll be the first out.
Man, the call's immediate, and it was loud. You could hear it on TV. Brad obviously didn't hear it. He looks back and still thinks it's ball four.
Well, maybe if I just keep going, they won't notice. Who said you can't steal first? Pitching change coming. working together to fight to end hunger through Home Runs for Food. To date, Home Runs for Food has donated $80,000 to Feeding America Tampa Bay. Greg Holland is the new pitcher. He throws a good fastball away, though, out of the strike zone. 1-0 the count to Sean Rodriguez.
Yeah, 14th appearance for Holland. ERA is high. He has struck out over a man an inning.
And a liner headed toward the corner, but foul. Takes the count to 1-1. Four 6-0 for the Rays tonight. They've stranded 5. Don't spill a drop. 8-0 for Kansas City with 8 left.
Well, they had him played defensively correctly, sitting right there tonight.
Yep.
He got a souvenir.
1-2. Holland had been at Omaha and made his big league debut in early August this year for Kansas City. And he strikes out Sean Rodriguez. So 2 outs in the inning. Sun Sports has been your source for Rays coverage all season. Will continue into October throughout the Rays postseason run. Be sure and turn to Sun Sports after the game for live coverage and expert analysis on the Rays playoff postgame show. No one knows Rays baseball like Sun Sports. Bartlett fouling this one away. One strike the count down to Bartlett. It's Slugger, the mascot. And apparently he's in good health. He had a broken tail there a couple of years ago. But he's in good shape now.
Well, how did that happen?
One of those freak accidents. I'm not sure of the details, and I really didn't ask. Strike 3 call. Bartlett caught looking. The Rays are out 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the ninth, 4-0. Right. If you need a car, truck, or van, who you going to call? AutoWay. Call 1-800-SHOP-AutoWay. 4-0. Rays lead this game, and we'll take a look at tonight's Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment. For that, we go all the way back to the third inning on a 1-0 pitch. Carl Crawford belting his single-season career-high 19th home run of the year, connecting off Kyle Davies, who gave up all 4 runs and all 6 hits to the Rays. Rays have no hits off Chavez, Hughes, and Holland. And Randy Choate comes on for the Rays.
84th appearance for Randy Choate, who's been the only lefty all season long until the September call-up of Jake McGee down there in the bullpen. And he's done a great job. You see the innings, only 43 and a third, but boy, he's up all the time, and he faces usually the toughest lefty the opposition has.
Mitch Meyer up here, 1 strike to count to him.
It's usually the Robbie Canoes or the Joe Mauers or somebody like that.
Leonard Navarro's doing the catching now for the Rays, replacing Jaso. Makes quick work of Meyer. 1 away. Yaniski Betancourt. Wade Davis will start tomorrow's game. The final game of the regular season for the Rays before they move into postseason play. And still not determined whether they will be playing at home against the Texas Rangers or on the road in Minnesota against the Twins.
It's going to go down to the final day.
Outside 2-0.
By the way, A.J. Burnett matched Daisuke for pitches in the first inning, but he beat him by 2. He had 32 pitches, and it's a 1-1 tie going into the second. Wow. He's had a tough time. You know, we talked about him last week. That first inning has been awful for A.J. Burnett all year.
That's a strike to Betancourt. 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. The Rays have used 8 pitchers tonight. 2 1/3 from Sonnenstein, who made the start. Then Qualls, Hellickson, Price, McGee, Balfour, Benoit, and now Choate. And there's ball 4. So Betancourt draws a walk. Second walk issued by the Rays pitchers. Brian Pena, switch hitting catcher, will turn around to bat right-handed against Joe.
Yeah, Brian's got bigger numbers from the left side. 294 coming into tonight's game versus in the low 200s right-handed. 263 overall.
Pitch outside. I don't know the count to Pena.
Here they are. There's a switch. Right-handed 208. Randy's trying to get that 2-seamer over the outside corner. Keeps missing wide. This one's down.
2 balls, no strikes. Strike 2-1. Soriano throwing in the bullpen. The pitch inside. 3-0.
You don't want to let the Royals up off the floor here now. You know, another base runner. Soriano's going to have to come into this game. Because you want to give him some room to move, too.
There's a strike. Pitch in the upper reaches of the strike zone, and that's something that Laz Diaz will do from occasion. He'll give you that high strike.
Yeah, it's a good pitch.
3-2.
Randy'd like to roll up double play right here.
Liner foul. Bounding off the sidewall. A tap foul. So an extended at bat for Pena. This next pitch will be the 8th of the at bat. Yankees beat Boston in their first game 6-5. In the second inning of their second game, tied 1-1. And 3-2 again is fouled out of play. Rays tonight, after their 95th win of the year. They won 97 in 2008. Sitting on 94 and a couple outs away from 95 this year. Down to short. Bartlett. Brignac 1. First base 2. This game is over. A double play ball, 6-4-3. And the Rays are 4-0 winners tonight. Randy Choate gets credit for a full inning in the 9th inning. Took 2 hours and 52 minutes to play this game, and the Rays win their 95th of the season. They're now 95 and 66. They are a half game back of the New York Yankees, who have the second game of their day-night doubleheader to complete against the Boston Red Sox at Fenway. So we will await the outcome of that game, and indeed this American League East race will go down to the final day of the regular season tomorrow. Here's the last out on the 6-4-3 double play. And as the official score, Del Black, had indicated before, if the game ended the way it was, as it has, 4-0, Qualls will get the win. Davies will take the loss before 32,434. Right now, let's go to the field and Todd Callis.
Thank you, Dwayne. Carl, big win for you guys. You had
towards the end, and we haven't been